Ultrakill is a game about extraction. First and foremost in the game's representation of extraction is the foundation upon which the game rests: blood. Both in terms of the narrative and the gameplay, it is essential. Ludically, to heal, one must absorb the blood of enemies, thereby all but requiring its extraction by the player. Narratively, the operation of the player's avatar, V1, as with all machines in Ultrakill's world, depends on its presence as quickly consumed fuel. This system, by which both V1 and the player are compelled to extort this precious resource from their surroundings, is a human one, constructed and perpetuated by mankind, now long dead as a consequence of this very relationship. Furthermore, if the system in question, the siphoning of life from the unfortunates, is extrapolated beyond mere blood and to life more generally, these frameworks start to resemble the real, similarly extractive systems of conquest, imperialism, and capitalism, the extraction of a land's life, a people's life, a class's life. Another machine, other than V1, is the Gutterman, a large, chain-gunning trench sweeper created early during humanity's last war. If its corpse is subjected to an explosion, the lid on the coffin strapped to its back flies open, revealing a human body, from whose thoracic cage extends a tube filled with blood. As confirmed by the terminal entry, this is indeed a human just barely kept alive to the extent where blood can still be produced, so that it may be pumped to the hulking beast of war which demands it. It's a striking image, one which is strongly reminiscent of the relationship between the empire and the colony, the subjugator and the subjugated, the capitalist and the worker. The machines can be said to be reflections, embodiments of these systems, their hardware limitations acting just as the overarching systems of profit and plunder acted for the humans that created them, necessarily causing them to unsustainably burn through life as fuel for their own propagation. As these systems of extraction are destroying the earth through their extraction, so do the machines. It's fairly easy to forget or not really register this is happening as a consequence of the gameplay's comparative attention grabbing that, as Gabriel reminds the player in his Act 2 monologue,
limbo, lust, all gone, with gluttony soon to follow. Your kind know nothing but hunger, purged all life on the upper layers, and yet they remain unsatiated. As do you. You've taken everything from me, machine, and now all that remains is perfect hatred.
The machines have, apparently, as a consequence of their pursuit for wealth, irreparably destroyed great swaths of hell in their reckless hollowing out of each layer, now unreachable even to hell's masters, a fact that the player is sure to remember, if only due to the sheer amount of times they will play this level in pursuit of a P rank. These concepts are also reinforced by several of the game's environments. In the layer of greed, monuments to some of Earth's greatest empires are strewn about, those of Britain, France, America, and Egypt, atop whose pyramid, V2, one of the most powerful machines in hell, until you kill it, lounges on a throne, clearly drawing a connection between the two. Additionally, the layer of violence is a layer of war, ruled by machines. The previously mentioned Gutterman, Gutter Tank, and Earth Mover are all vicious constructs, for whom it is their natural environment. Above the wastes, ruined by war, rise large edifices of semi-classical design, calling upon the associations that architecture has in culture, particularly those of the Western tradition, in all of its exploitation and warmongering. By placing such buildings here, the game suggests that the practices of these societies, their destruction, colonialism, and needless war, are being continued, and one can see the agents of their continuation everywhere about these levels: the machines. Furthermore, one can see what this never-ending extraction has wrought all around. In the layer's desolate, poisoned landscape, the natural end of these insatiable systems is powerfully represented. The connection between the machines and imperial systems of wealth is also furthered by the coin, a mechanic that makes itself known almost immediately, being a variant of the first weapon obtained in the course of the game. Its mechanical complexity is immense, and as the player spends more time in the game, they will uncover layer upon layer of its applicability. From its basic attack to combos with other weapons, to chaining coins, to punching coins, to combinations of all the above, plus far more. Needless to say, it is a facet of the arsenal that is quickly made indispensable. As a result, throughout the entire game, the player, and by extension V1, will almost certainly be using an excess of golden coins as a primary medium through which they acquire blood. The instrument of economy, the embodiment of those systems of profit, smoothly made into V1's own. The pitiable masses of hell, already drained by capital in their lives, now have their afterlives literally stolen by the profit motive and its steward, V1. As it could be said that these coins were the lifeblood of human society before its collapse, so too are they the lifeblood of machine operation, though in a much more base expression of the same motives. The many systems of Ultrakill come together to form a particular narrative. The machines, V1 especially, the player especially, unwitting perpetrators of humanity's self-constructed destruction, extract from the world of the dead as mankind extracted from that of the living. It is a terrible process, one which takes and gives back only suffering and desolation, and one which inevitably will come to nothing as the supply of hell is exhausted and the machines truly have nowhere to go. Yet the machines are slaves to this inevitable end, doomed to have their meager consciousnesses extinguished by the very same extractive principles that already extinguished humankind. It is a game that revolves around this process, whose events are dictated by it and whose interaction is shaped by it. Ultrakill is a game about extraction.
Snooping as usual, I see.